Morning, good morning, happy birthday, welcome to the first day of the rest of your life. Sorry you missed me yesterday. Had a bit of an interesting day yesterday. Ended up going up to Birmingham to meet up with a guy called Nick James. In fact, you know Nick James because I always mention him. Well, I don't always mention him, I often mention him at the beginning of my life. Happy birthday, welcome to the first day of the rest of your life. What a wonderful time to be alive. What a phenomenal time to be alive, as my friend Nick James would always say. Let's start again, shall we? Anyway, welcome to the first day of your life. Every day is your birthday if you choose to celebrate life every single day. And why wouldn't you want to celebrate life every day? Because you're alive, you're here, you have a device in your hand that's allowing you to watch this. It's fantastic, life is beautiful. Out here in the woods, it's very pretty. I've just been on a nice little run. I've just recorded an extra little video, which you'll see after this one, which I had to record because of all the birthdays I've got to say happy birthday to today. Yeah, the amphitheatre, which some of you will remember from a couple of weeks ago when I was talking about habits and reforming habits. It's all overgrown now, and it's really interesting because there's a pathway that used to be easy to walk through, and now it's all overgrown. It's really not so easy to walk through, and that's a really great metaphor for your brain and your habits, which leads us on to today's topic of the day, which is sleep, and how sleep is actually the save button on your memories, and also the defragmentation on your memories as well. It was a really great video of the day today from a guy whose name I've completely forgotten now, Matthew something. I can probably tell you if I pop this up here. Matthew Walker. There you go. Look at that. I did know that. Matthew Walker, who's a sleep psychologist, I don't know, person who investigates sleep anyway, and there's so many cool topics on that. The most important one, of course, is that when you go to sleep, your brain saves all the memories that you've made during the day, sorts through them all and works out which ones it wants you to remember properly. And it also has a bit of a defragmentation thing as well, so it kind of gets rid of old memories that you don't need anymore, that are not, that you haven't thought about for a while, things that you haven't repeated on a regular basis, stories you haven't told for a long time, and it just goes, oh, I'm just going to archive those, I'm going to move those away into the deep recesses. If you ever watched the film Inside Out, there's a beautiful scene there, these two little guys inside the brain, they're looking at memories, and the sort of like blue memories, old ones, and they go, yeah, we don't need that anymore, and then they chuck them over the side into the sort of big pit where the old memories live, and take it from the sort of short-term memory and stick it into sort of long-term available. If you go through hypnotherapy, for example, hypnosis, you could maybe get those memories back eventually. But also, what was really interesting from him is he said the REM sleep part of your brain, when you're doing REM sleep, is actually a sort of defragmentation kind of concept, and actually it's more like what it does is it clears out your hippocampus, I think is the right word, which is very cool, which is basically the inbox for your brain. It's like all the sort of like short-term memory, the things you need to sort out. So imagine your email inbox, and you've got a massive email list, and a lot of people talk about inbox zero, of course, which is like when you cleared all the stuff out of your inbox and you put it into the filing cabinets as you want to. So that's what it is. But you'll know on some systems in the past, at least anyway, you used to get this sort of inbox full thing. So somebody would send you an email, and it would just say inbox full, and it would return the email, and you wouldn't ever see that email because your inbox is full, so they couldn't send you the email. And if you don't get the right amount of sleep and the right kind of sleep, your brain can become inbox full, and then it can't absorb new memories and new information, and it becomes blocked. So that's a really, really bad thing. So you need to make sure you're getting enough sleep, and you're getting the right kind of sleep as well. He talks very, very interesting things about things like caffeine, for example, saying that caffeine has a quarter life of 12 hours. That means it's still in your brain 12 hours after you drank it. So if you have a cup of coffee at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so let's say 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it's still active in your brain at 4 o'clock the next morning, and so obviously you're sleeping by then. Normally, most people would be. So keeping your caffeine intake low or no decaffeinated after 12 o'clock is a really good idea. From this study anyway. I've never done it myself, so that's quite interesting. I might try that and see what happens. Had a lot of coffee yesterday with Nick James, but anyway, I haven't said happy birthday to everybody, have I? Haven't said happy birthday to everybody, but anyway, because I've moved on to the topic and I didn't mean to move on to the topic quite so early. Tell you what, we'll finish the topic off and then we'll say happy birthday to all these people, because there's loads of people whose happy birthday it is today. That's the wrong information. This is the one we want. because he said, yes, that was basically, oh, and he was talking about, yes, that's right, because some people will take alcohol to try and help them sleep, and that doesn't help because it's a sedative. It puts you into sedative sleep and not a proper sleep, not deep sleep, and you don't do any REM sleep, which is the defragmentation thing, if I've remembered that correctly. And also you tend to wake up more during the night if you've had alcohol, although you don't remember it because of the alcohol, of course, and so you kind of wake up, so you have like a disturbed night's sleep, so it's not like a proper deep sleep. So that's not good for your body. And also he was talking about marijuana as well, saying that a lot of people take marijuana to go to sleep, but of course the problem, and also to help with anxiety, of course the problem is it disrupts that REM sleep and actually increases your anxiety the next day, because you haven't had the proper sleep, and you haven't processed your thoughts properly, and so then you're more anxious the next day, which then a lot of people take marijuana for anxiety, and of course it just makes things worse. So I wouldn't recommend it myself, although I know a lot of people who do take it recreationally, especially in America these days, I've noticed particularly. Good morning, Maxine, thanks for watching. So yeah, and he was also talking about, weirdly, he was talking about how counting sheep doesn't actually help you sleep, but meditation does, and mindfulness and getting out into nature during the day helps. Doing exercise during the day. He talked about snooze button, don't hit the snooze button, which I always call the dream stealer button. It's just not helpful, because you're creating anxiety, you're creating stress in your body from the actual alarm, and then you hit snooze and your body goes into a sort of semi-sleep version, and then it wakes you up again, so it puts more stress on your body as well. So it's just creating stress in the morning. Yeah, no need for that at all. Have a nice bit of what I would always recommend, working out your sleep patterns better, so you don't actually have to set an alarm at all. Although if you are going to set an alarm, you need to set the alarm at the last possible moment, so it's just like, okay, now I have no choice. I can't snooze because I haven't got time to snooze. I've now just got to leap out of bed and get on with my day. So that, you know, if you set your alarm for 7 o'clock in the morning, and then you snooze and snooze and snooze until 7:45, and then you get out of bed and you do whatever it is you need to do, you didn't really need to get up at 7 o'clock. You didn't need to set your alarm for 7 o'clock. Set your alarm for 7:45 instead, because that's the time you actually really need to get out of bed. And then if you happen to wake up between 7 and 7:45, then you can kind of get up without feeling like you've been shouted at in the morning, because you can go, right, great, and then you can turn your alarm off and say, right, the alarm is not going to go off at 7:45 because I'm already awake. I'm already in my my sort of waking section of the clock. Where is it? This way around, isn't it? That's probably the other way around actually for you guys, isn't it? There you go. So this is a clock, 7:45 that way around. If you're looking at the proper clock. Anyway, there you go. So yeah, sleep is really important. Make sure you get enough of it. Make sure you don't disrupt it too much. And remember that, and this is one of the things I really teach. This is critical. This is the main part of what I teach. I haven't even done the stuff I really wanted to talk about today. Never mind, doesn't matter. Which is that what you think about before you go to sleep is really critical, because the last things you think about before you go to sleep is what your brain then saves and goes, oh, this is the important stuff, this is the stuff you want to remember, this is clearly important to you, and so if you're thinking about all the bad stuff that happened during the day when you go to sleep, that's the bit that your brain's going to remember. It's going to go, oh, lots of bad stuff happened today, I'm going to remember all that, that's fantastic. And then the next day you kind of wake up and you say, oh, all this bad stuff happened to me yesterday, because your brain's got it front of memory and it's deleted all the good stuff. It's kind of ignored all the good stuff, which is why when you go to sleep, I have a whole process for this called create happy process. If you want access to that, let me know in the comments below, or try to drop me a PM saying create happy. That would be fantastic, and I'll let you have access to that. There's a free PDF and then some videos I'm going to add to it, which will be a little sort of mini course, which will be tiny little cost for the mini course that goes along with it, which explains more of this psychology behind the create happy process. So yeah, and then basically what you do is you rewire your brain before you go to sleep. Your brain then goes, this is the important stuff to remember. It saves that, and then it defrags it, gets rid of all the old stuff it doesn't really want, gets rid of all your spam in your inbox, and then the next morning you look at it again and you just remind yourself of all the good stuff that happened from the day, and over time you start to rewire your brain for positivity and the happy stuff that happened in your life rather than all the negativity in your life. Okay, that's the end of the topics today. Let's do the happy birthdays, yay, and the breathing exercise. We can do that. Happy birthday to everybody. Welcome to your first day of the rest of your life. What's the one thing you want to get done today? Blow that out, 5 in through your nose, hand on heart, light your candles on the left hand side while you're holding your breath. Blow out the candles. Well, wish yourself a happy birthday, and wish a happy birthday to the people whose real birthdays is today. My dad's cousin, Sally Denley. Happy birthday to you, Sally. Jason, Nicole, and Tom Cook, Martin Miller, Susie, Laura Stewart, Jen, Tim Haney and Joe Dowsett. It's all birthdays today. The birthdays from Monday, it's yesterday, which I missed because I was up in Birmingham. Happy birthday to Julia Halliwell. Hope you had a lovely weekend. I saw lots of stuff on Facebook from that. Fran Axel, Andy McMahon, Jackie Chappell even. Howard Vale, hope you're well, Howard. Alison Reeves, Emily Paganini, is it, I think? And Emily from Wales as well. Looks like motherhood is really suiting you. Hannah King, that's right, Emily Hannah King. And Catherine Briggs as well. They were all birthdays on Monday, so yesterday. And then going right back to Sunday. I had a problem with my system on Sunday. I couldn't copy and paste the names like I normally do. So Izzy Sowley, Laura Waghorn. Laura, lots of love and positivity I see on Facebook from you. Jeff Lasaria, Shauna-leigh Ball. How are you doing, Shauna-leigh? I haven't spoken to you in ages. It's lovely to speak to you again at some point. Must come up and visit you and Eve actually in Manchester. Now we're coming out of that. Darren Rudman, of course, in Cheltenham, and Sarah Spurrier, who is in Gloucester. Wife, and lovely wife, and I saw a beautiful photograph of you and your daughter, actually. I don't think was your little boy there? Didn't see a picture of your boy anyway. So anyway, hope you guys are really well. Of Chris Spurrier, who helped me set up Diary Booker in the first place for my first customer, hairdresser in Gloucester. Hope life is going well for you guys. Anyway, happy birthday to all of those people. Wish them all a happy birthday. Blow out your candles. We've done this before, but let's just do it again and then we'll wrap up. 5 in through nose. Hand on heart. Hold while you light your candles. And then blow out your candles. Happy birthday, everybody. Go and celebrate life because it's a wonderful time to be alive. And if you are interested in the Create Happy process, remember to comment Create Happy below or send me a DM. And if you're interested in my 7-day challenge, Learn to Live a Life You Love, then crack on, let me know about that. Oh, and my focus really is going to be, I'm toying with this idea, so I'm looking for feedback on this because this is some really good feedback I had from Nick James yesterday, which was basically I'm going to help people learn how to get off antidepressants. So if you're on antidepressants and you want to get off them and you're willing to take the work, put in the work and the effort that's needed to rewire your brain so that you don't, at some point in the future, you can talk to your doctor and say, I want to get off these antidepressants. I'm your man. That's what I do. So let me know if you think that's a really cool idea as far as a really get known for, because he was talking about getting yourself known for a speciality. So rather than just living a life you love, which is the ultimate goal, of course, so I'll get there eventually. I want to help people get off these drugs because that's where I started in May of last year. My first video on here was you don't need to be depressed. You don't need the drugs. You can get off the drugs if you want to, if you choose to. In most cases, not all cases, but most cases. Obviously on advice from your doctor as well, so don't just stop taking the drugs. That's ridiculous. You want to tail off a little bit, but you also, what you want to do is you want to get all the habits embedded in you, which is what I would teach you. That mindset, rewire your brain for positivity, to get rid of all that negative spiraling down rumination stuff that you would normally struggle from if you're in depression. I've been there. I know what it's like. I've been suicidal a couple of times. I've been on the antidepressants 4 times and I've come off them 4 times, and it was the 4th time in 2012 when I said, look, I don't want to do this anymore. How can I feel like I never want to take antidepressants ever again? And that's when I transformed my life, started putting in all the effort to rewire my brain, and I've never really felt depressed ever since then. Been a couple of times when I felt myself sliding. You saw it on a video a couple of weeks ago. I could feel myself sliding, but you saw then I just saw, oh, hang on a minute, I can feel myself sliding. Let's just change that and let's adjust that. Let's ski uphill and let's change the direction of that and look for more positivity. So if that's something you think might be interesting to you, or somebody you know, or somebody, a loved one, because somebody told me that they'd lost somebody over the weekend to depression. I want to help those people. I want to stop people feeling like they are stuck on antidepressants. I want to liberate you and help you to become free from antidepressants. And I want to be known, hopefully, want to be known for the guy who helps people get off antidepressants. Because there is a process, there's a step-by-step process to help you rewire your brain, think differently, see positivity much more often, stop ruminating, stop the downward spiral, move yourself upwards, and start living a life you love. Great. Let me know if you're interested in any of that, or you know anybody who might be. Take care. Love you all. Sending love out into the world. Bye for now, and enjoy the next video too. Bye.